Yeah, man. Greetings, Rastafari, Hail Emperor the King Selassie the First, the Perfect Balance Empress Menin. This is First Man for Rastafari Indigenous Village, recognizing, accepting, promoting Lion Voice. Yes, the voice of Rastafari, speaking about Rastafari, educating Rastafari, preserving, protecting Rastafari. Give thanks.
Aye,
Yes,
Rastafari, mighty.
The fittest of the fittest shall survive. My people, open your eyes. Wake up. Blessed love, this is Queen Omega representing for all lions and lionesses. With the lion's voice, we come to tell our story. Rastafari live it. Hey, the lion's voice. Rastafari.
Blessed love, this is Ras Biah representing for the Lion Voice, seeing? Yeah, man, keep it locked right there, sir. On to Zion we go. Lion Voice don't move slow, no. Rastafari rules and reigns, and we're going where the blessings flow. Keep it locked right there, sir, seeing? Ras Biah said that. Lion's Voice.
Devastated, every roof gone. You see mothers and babies, pregnant mothers, man, woman, everyone standing on the roadside in a line, waiting for something, you know what I mean? And this is on the coast, but when you think about the inland, it was impossible to reach the ones in inland, So, and I did have to make some move towards, serving in that regard, in that capacity as a one way would gather some things that we know so they come into the ones them would need and finding the ones them. So you have, it was like a scattered work. It wasn't not where the RMO did really plan for, but ones who involved with the RMO set speed, everyone just go out and I do them thing I do. Them giving and searching for the elders, them searching for the different ones. Yeah, I mean, and we were successful, in that regard, but coming together with reason and the RMO now plan, to go out there, in a unified sense. And I was still on that program, and we go out there and we go places in Montego Bay, we go places in Westmoreland, we go places in Black River, and these different places and finding the ones them and giving the care package. And even till now, and it is now about 3 months after the hurricane and the ones them, maybe although food becomes something that they can survive right now, but one still out there without shelter, one still out there displaced, in such a way that youth can't go to school, that needs medicine. These things are really happening for true. So I experience something I've never experienced before.
What do you have to tell the people about Rastafari?
Light to the world. King of kings and the conquering line of the tribe of Judah. I like himself. Where's rightful ruler? Hey yo! Yeah. Hail them high, hail the black king, born the 23rd of July. So tell them guy, who praise God up in the sky, it's a lie. The Almighty living on your night. From ancient time, them a try. Them Romans know them just open them suit and ties. Criminals ain't got no alibi, they stole my people. Then them comes without them genocide.
Are you talking about slavery?
Them couldn't kill the lion way come conquer Judah tribe. Go through tribulation, I strive, see sufferation, I still rise. That's why we tell them in America, live Rastafari in every ghetto area. We come to tell them in a Toronto, straight at
Yes, so now that I have the eye on the platform, I have to ask the eye to step into the Lion Talk time machine and to bring us to the eye birth and to tell us where the eye trod from and what was the eye journey to Rastafari.
Give thanks, my virgin, because they give thanks and praises. First of all, I must say, give thanks, to His Imperial Majesty Emperor Ras Biah, and Empress Menin said speed. I give thanks to my family. I give thanks to the Rastafari community said speed, and I give thanks to all supporters of the Rastafari community and the works that I do. Yeah, man. I stem from Linstead, Jamaica, you know. And I rise up in them section of Jamaica there, you know, and I see a whole lot of, you know, things up around I where, you know, it give I the power, both positive and negative. That give I the power to tread in some different type of ways. You know what I mean? And I move on from them communities, then I went to St. Diego High School, you know, doing track and field, and I rise up in track and field to a particular way that I, you know, could have set some great records in track and field set speed, even some international records at Penn Relays, and I brought a team to Penn Relays and leave a record there for when I was 19 years old. So I see greatness from the earlier days, and I know that you know greatness is there to achieve in every way. I mean.
Okay.
So, but coming forward to the Rastafari vibration, I, you know, leave Jamaica, you know, to a scholarship, athletic scholarship, and I reach America, and, you know, based on everything when I learn in Jamaica, like, you know, the Caribbean history. I mean,
Yes.
teach the Caribbean history at school, especially the high school level. And you know, I did love the history. I love to know what going on, and I really and truly doing learning the history at, you know, the later part of my high school days. I find that I could have find myself where I come from. You know what I mean? I see the journey of the ones them, you know, the ones them in a Jamaica and around, you know, well, them time that's just Jamaica still, but I see the ones them moving around, and I always wonder where I come from to be here, you know, and just see the struggle. And I used to see the Rastafari.
Where in America? Where in America was the eye? Where in America was the eye?
Yeah, I was in New York. I was in New York most of all.
The great city.
Yeah, I went to man. Yeah, man. That's true, man. Everything, you know.
Yeah, the city, the whole world.
And I went to. Yeah, man, definitely. Give thanks. Yeah, but as I said, moving towards Rastafari, the lessons that I learned, and I went to America and I moved forward to try to study the history, you know, of the American movement, said speed, and I try to study the history of the European movement. So I see where, you know, the African ones were placed in positions where, you know, I mean, it wasn't for themselves, you know, it wasn't the perfect place for them, you know, based on the different things that I got to go see in terms of, you know, the separation of ones because, you know, how you look and, you know, your color coming from the earth. So I just did look upon it and remember in that journey coming through, and she said I wasn't the perfect man. Yeah, I mean, to live a fancy life, to say, well, then, boy, I reach. So I did drop back to the Rastafari ways, you know, which I did know from morning, you know, the whole levity, the love, yeah, I mean, the togetherness, yeah, I mean, them type of thing, then the Rasta, no matter how him get abused, him still a show love. Yeah, I mean, so it's either I could have go in a direction where you get abused, but you come and you fight back in a way where you maybe abuse back someone else, but it wasn't like that. It was choosing a path where you could have feel free for reason, and the reason come more vertical, the reason not come because I want to look something or I look something for one, but it's a uplifting reason all the time. You know what I mean? So them journey they bring out to Rastafari, you know, in the early days, you know, so that's where I start out maybe, you know, when I was maybe about 24, 25 them days, you know.
Okay, so when you went to America, you didn't have locks that time?
No, never had locks. I went there on a track and field journey.
Okay.
You know, it wasn't about that. But I did have the thing in I soul from man, and I just learning to that vibration, you know.
So
yes, sir.
When did you start to really start Ital with identity of His Imperial Majesty? What was that like? You know, separate from the culture. You know, how old were you, and what was that moment when you said this man have that divinity there?
You know, say, and I did, this is now after I finished college and everything. Go out on the street, and one day I look at apartment to live in, and I go to a real estate virgin, the virgin are reason like a Rastafari virgin, but he wasn't like, clad as a Rastafari virgin. But on the virgin wall, there is a picture of His Majesty and a whole part of things around His Majesty, just wore a kingly, a royalness, and I couldn't stop looking on the picture virgin. I was like, man, really, different. Then I start looking into it, and one of the first book I read was the Kebron of Gast, and I really and truly deeply look into this book, and I see some type of power in this book. And from then on, I read the book, and I go back and I read the Bible. And, I see where the book meet the Bible and where the Bible meet the book. And I see how His Majesty come from this ancient order. Him come out at this ancient order. So all the things that are happening on earth right now is like this man surpass all of these things with the power when I come to earth with from the time of David, even before I come to and I say, them type of power man I roll with. And I start study His Majesty on a whole different level, and I to study, Wagwan, Ethiopia, and Africa to a greater extent, said speed. So, so I put a different sparks in my life,
Give thanks. And then also, Empress Menen, where did the consciousness of Empress Menen come in? Because for many people, that was a later kind of revelation. You learn about His Majesty first, and then, yes, she found same time, but, me notice recently more ones are try learn more. When was that for the eye, or that consciousness of Empress Menen and the balance?
Around the same time, and I grew up in a family, with mother and father, and I brother and sister, essentially, and that love that it was so genuine, and I come and I see, what I want, fatherless, motherless, single parent, and these things, and I see how His Majesty was a family unit, and that was something else, and I really and truly have to look into how Empress Menen hold this man strong. That was one of the things which was amazing, and this is also a lesson, for I and I, how to maybe sometimes in a family, both things happen. As a man, sometimes you feel like, why, how to face these things, the week you run, But when you think about how His Majesty and Empress Menen demonstrate, a family unit and a strength of how an empress can hold forward a king, and the man do his work and become who he is in this time. It make you know, say, a strong man deserve a powerful woman, said speed, or vice versa, a powerful man deserve a strong woman. So that was the case, and I see how, Empress Menen keep this man powerful through his days, and then become this great man even to I and a whole lot of who's I want across the earth, said speed. To see that, you have different rulership and different ideology in our earth in this time. But when you think about, Empress Menen and King Selassie within time pass, and even the examples where them set to know and time to come, it is the perfect liberty and the perfect balance. So I do give thanks.
Yeah, man, it's mightiful. I want reason with the eye. The eye is a perfect man. Reason about the Isle of Sacrament. There's a little bit of feed forward. I don't know if that's coming from the eye, Mike. But talk to us about the herb ganja. When did the eye grow to get this appreciation of? For those who don't know, Ras Biah is one of our greatest when it comes on to growing of ganja, lamb's bread, all these, creating medicine, Ital standard. He's one of the members of the Ital certification committee. Talk to us about ganja. When did I grow to know love this plant, and where did I learn about this plant?
Yeah, sir. And face a whole lot of things within the ganja arena. I mean, and I did have to suffer a little bit, in terms of, going to do some time because of ganja set speed. But
Okay.
ganja to and I was something else. I mean, I used to, my father, used to take a drive with so often, and that fragrance was, as a youth, was something else. It gave a different feeling. It just lifts you up on a whole different level. And when you smell that thing, when I used to smell that thing, I was like, it's a different heights. Maybe I can't explain now, but coming forward and dealing with ganja, it's like, it's a need for once. And I, at an early stage, knowing ganja users, I used to always wonder why ones use ganja, and over time I find out that, ones I go through trauma. I mean, there's a lot of trauma that one has through where ganja kind of soothe them on a whole different level. It keeps them from being violent, being mentally disturbed all the time, and just being balanced. I learned that. So coming forward, even to know, and I relationship with ganja is, I use the herb. I mean, I use herb for different reasons. I make certain different type of medicine with the herb. I use the herb in its entirety, I should say. Now, I see one's planting the herb. I've been to different ganja farms, and I see one's planting the herb. And as a user for the herb, I never pleased, to how maybe ones used to do this. And this come from a conventional way of cultivation where, the fertilizer and the pesticide, the insecticide, the herbicide, all these different side. I mean, it take a different type of tool. I find in mind when you say, I have to go use some herb with some lanite. I see man put that thing in him. Lanite is a dangerous poison. I see man mix up and spray lanite herb, and it's so serious that, to I as a user, I decide to listen. I have to go deeper into how herb is dealt with. So I start and I start the journey of the whole natural Ital farming of the herb and food maybe about 8, 9, 10 years ago.
Okay.
I mean, as I use the herb before, I do everything with the herb, but my personal journey in terms of demonstrating how organic or Ital vibration could have worked. It was very difficult, and once come forward and say I do it and laugh because it's not perfect at the first instance. And I decided to nah, stop it, make you go down to nothing because you spend until there's nothing left because you don't get the perfect thing. I read every book about ganja and still never get perfect. I mean? So this final time when I think, say, listen, this has to work, something wrong. So I look around and I look on the mango tree and the guinea tree and the apple tree, and I say, but all them tree they always taste so green. I mean, them not lose them look, unless like a different season of the year, you might see leaf drop off or something coming right back to speed. The fruits come on. And so I said, listen, the ganja can grow a certain natural way. So I start tap into how, the natural way of, earth, or the soil work, or the earth work, or the mycelium work, or the fungus them work, or the bacteria them work, or the microbes work. I mean? So I tap into that very deeply and find out that you have different ways so you can enhance growth, or you can do different things naturally. So I get different the different nutrients from different plant-based products, like you want enzyme, you look for some papa, you want potassium, you look for some banana, you want calcium, you look for a thing we call gypsum. I mean, and these things are all natural. I mean, so we look for the natural enhancer for the plant in terms of the nutrients that the plant might want, and delivering it to the plant. So I learned that, and over time it was a blessing. I see it. I can say I almost perfect the game of doing Ital. And one of the most important things in doing an Ital growth is how you make your compost, and you get your compost, make it over time, and it break down in different type of compost. Compost will bring different type of nutrients and for different purposes. And these composts that just become almost soil again, and you use these compost to plant your plant skin, open the earth, and you maybe add it to your soil, and the plant can grow perfectly. We
Yeah.
find different ways of control pests, and these things naturally. So this is what I do at Canna Cure Rastafari Sanctuary,
I
and
was just gonna ask you to give us
do
the
the full
history.
distribution of the ganja.
I was just gonna ask the eye to give us the history. Try taking off your mic. Your sound, the audio is not the greatest. Let me see if you turn off the camera, if you will sound better. Talk now.
Yeah, I sound better now.
It's a little bit better. Let me know in the comment section. I know the audio is not the best. We're gonna try to do the best that we can. I would love to see the brethren, but if it sounds better with no camera because of the Wi-Fi, let us know in the chat. Because the brethren have blocked some key sound, the farmer them are take notes. Because the Ital is so crucial, and I don't think a lot of people who use herb know the type of poisons and pesticides that are being used on the herb. So sometime when you talk about herb and mental illness, a man a smoke herb that was sprayed with all type of pesticide and poison. You know what I mean? So, and then the herb get the bad name. So let me see. Ben B. Berg say him audio robot bad sound like witness protection program, and there is a comedian, Ben B. Berg. Bad Benny Berg. We have some funny Lion Pride too, we all enjoy that one thing here on the Lion Pride. Big up on yourself. I'm a global family. We're gonna make the best of it. It's not the best audio, but that the brethren is blocking some key sound. I can turn forward the camera because I don't look like the lack of camera go save the audio. I would have still love City Eye. Yeah. Would have still love City Eye same way, But yes, I blocked some key sound, you know what I mean, in terms of the Ital and the importance of the Ital. Give us the history now of Canna Cure Sanctuary, because the name, where did the name come from, the whole concept, the brethren sells compost teas, all kind of packages for Ital growing. So he's one of the key architects of the Ital standard on the ground there, along with many others, but he has done his trial and error and come up with his own unique kind of system. So give us the history of Canna Cure.
Yes, I give thanks and my apologies for the sound, the audio, but I always try to share as much as I can, for the audience at speed. We give thanks to the patients. Yeah, man, but yeah, Canna Cure, as you said, has been happening for a very, very long time. Even before, we should have said the not legalization, but whatever is happening now in Jamaica, like the Rastaman can get a little freedom to plant, But after that Canna Cure became a little bit more, established in certain way. But I brother has been planting herb at this foundation for a very long time, many years. And I come forward and see the ones them doing that, and my brother decided saying that he want to take a journey to North America. So I just decided to I go and continue the journey. It's about 10 years ago.
Okay.
And that's when Canna Cure actually came up to the forefront of doing what we're doing now. So about 10 years ago, as I said, we started the journey in terms of wanting to put in Ital products. Products that was not tainted with fertilizer or pesticides and these type of things. So that journey started, and the journey started not because I really and truly wanted to make a bag of money. Not that. It was just to demonstrate that we can plant the herb, deal with the herb on a whole different level, on a conscious level, not giving one herbs to use, which is not good for them, especially because even from I start putting self together as Canna Cure, many ones come with different type of ailments. One come with epilepsy, ones come with different type of pain, back pain, shoulder pain, mental health, one with different ailments, and doctors recommended for them, that cannabis would be good. But then the doctor recommend, but him don't really overs everything, because I remember his training wasn't about cannabis. But
Yes.
because certain unique ailments, and the international community as well, herb could have helped you. Them find themselves just so, and it wouldn't be nice for to give the ones them somewhere, having all these different pies. So
Yes.
it was a great journey to see Canna Cure come forward, within the space, the ganja space,
Yes.
to introduce what Ital ganja would have been, in this time. And I want to tell you, for a lot of ones, most of the ones now, St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, these ganja communities observe the italness. We can see the organic or the italness of ganja, because them see the importance. You know the difference when you see the ganja where the chemical and something go on, you smell it. You know what I mean? So the ones them start to say, well, to be accepted, especially in the sacramental community, you have to go, Ital organic. Many ones are doing this now. When I just started 10 years ago, it was like I one time I run out of herb and go on the road to see if I could find some herb could have matched the profile. I couldn't find none. So that spark I teach the ones and said, no, have to start putting yourself together on a higher level, because this is where people sick. You know what I mean? And people need herb when they're sick, and you can't deliver herb where, upon a certain level to the ones them. And the ones them take it on, and now in Jamaica, what for one? Only one lot of ones, where you go now, you hear about Kush, or how you go to Kush, it have been, Ital Kush. Yeah. So it's a vibe, you know what I mean?
And it's so important
That
because
Canna Cure.
and it's so important because Rastafari championed that, suffer the brutality for that, and the culture has to be preserved in its pure form, which is that medicinal. When we talk about sacramental, it's not just, we don't deal with recreational herb. That's one thing in Rastafari. We don't deal with that term recreational. It's a holistic vibration, spiritual, where we would have said iritical, physical, the goody. And the great thing about it is that our elders didn't know anything about the endocannabinoid system that every human being has in their body. They didn't know about the receptor sites for THC and endocannabinoids are naturally occurring in the human body. But they knew that this was the healing of the nation, and they paid the price. You hear the brethren say he was incarcerated for the herb. So these are part of Rastafari's story. When we talk about the Webathon, in a little while, and the efforts of the RMO. We want to make it clear that Rastafari is not out there begging. This is a call for solidarity. What Rastafari has gone through, what we have endured. And one of the things that we're going to talk about is that the work is already being done. I saw someone in the comments talk about the grassroots. That work is already being done. People are out there in the streets, mapping, getting information, sending out care packages. That work is being done. So we want to make it clear. And that footage, some of that footage will also be highlighted at the Webathon so that ones can get up to speed and see that RMO has already been working since the storm started. Ras Biah is one of the people. He's going to talk about some of his efforts and what he's done. But before we get there, talk to us about Raga. What is Raga? Because you talk about what the I has done, but the I is not by itself as an individual. The I is a community-minded brethren, and you have connected it up. So give the people who are not familiar a little history about Raga and how Raga rise now.
Yes, sir. Give thanks. Yeah, man. Raga, the Rastafari and Grassroots Ganja Association. Yeah, the Raga, has been put together by Rastafari brethren and sisters, from early days. This is after the amendment of the Dangerous Drug Act in 2015. So, I saw a need. The Ragas, right? Give time. Yeah, Raga came about. One of the reason why Raga came about is to inform the ones of their rights, the Rastafari and grassroots ones in Jamaica of their rights. When the amendment came out with Section 7C, that says Rastafari Rastafari, was exempt from all the laws that was placed on ganja after the amendment. It really wasn't clear to many ones, but Rastafari have this opportunity right now to deal with ganja on a whole different level. Now Raga came through to have the ones them understand what their rights were, the Rastafari ones out there who are farmers and the likes, within the ganja industry. Raga came forward and get the ones them attached to a system where, the ones who get their identification cards and to identify themselves of, who they are, they're Rastafari, a part of the community, or their grassroots who come forward to assist the Rastafari ones to achieve the goal of what, of having this herb. So Raga both, represent at a level, at the governmental level, interfacing with the Ministry of Justice, who is responsible for all that is happening, within the sacramental arena of ganja, which is the Rastafari ganja sets. So, we lobby to the government, but there was still problems, even though the law says that they are exempt. There were still problem of police, going to the one's place, taking away their ganja, confiscating their equipment and all of this. These things were happening and even still happening, but not as much because Raga has established, a way how, the ones them can be protected. So all these works over years Raga has done, to protect the ones them. Raga go to the community, find the ones them, right now we have a list of maybe over 200 names and spaces where ones operate in cultivation of ganja and a sacred space where ganja is, distributed to the community. Right, so we have a list of these ones, and any problem come up, Raga will be there to assist. Raga has represented the ones them, and as I said, there are still issues of Ones, the officers, the police officers are not clear of the law, and they still go in and lock up the ones. And so Raga now would represent the ones in court. One of our latest case was a case with a virgin, one of our members, they went there and took away, over almost 300 pounds of herb. The virgin had him let and everything, and it was still taken away, And again, the officer said it wasn't clear about what was happening and all of this. But we went to court. It was successful. The court gave us document to go forward to the narcotics, and we retrieved the 300 or the 200 and whatever pound of herbs, and that achievement, of Raga said speed. Now it is a little bit different out there, because when the officers them go, they them recognize the letters them know, just that they may call a Raga member or the like, and for a confirmation that a letter is legitimate. So it's a little bit easier from the work that Raga has been doing, and it make I a little bit more comfortable. Because when a police come at your place, whether you have your right or not, the trauma still exists. You feel like you would have wanted to run, but if you're not strong enough, it's difficult sometimes to talk to the ones. An officer coming in your place and him come with arrogance, him come to intimidate you. Them things they still exist. But no, as I said, going forward, Raga make it. We still give thanks to Raga. Many other things. I don't want to go into too much, but there I can ask if there's anything to be clarified. Set speed,
I'm bringing the eye until the formation of the RMO now, because we want to get into the Webathon and the Hurricane Melissa. How did Canna Cure now hear about RMO, and what is RMO for those who don't know what RMO is all about?
Well, RMO is the Rastafari Mansions and Organizations. It consists of now signed, we have a constitution, and the constitution, was signed by 14 mansions, organizations of the Rastafari community. So, in saying so, RMO, Canna Cure, you said, Canna Cure Earth. Well, I is connected to the community. I connected to virgins and sisters. So, everything happened, I would really, get a fullness. But within Raga, because Raga predates the RMO. Raga was created before the name RMO. I is there, or was there, or is always there.
And also make it clear that Canna Cure is not just the I. There are other people who are part of Canna Cure.
Rastafari.
Yes.
But coming together as one.
Yes. All right. We're gonna go straight into Hurricane Melissa and the work that the I has been doing. What the I saw, what you experienced during the hurricane, and then some of the work. Lead us up to the work that the I has been doing on the ground.
Well, give thanks again, give thanks, for the patients are the ones that said speed, sometimes the thing get rocky, but we do give thanks. And it was a very detrimental experience even for I was in St. Elizabeth when the hurricane was hitting, and so outside St. Elizabeth, and it passed me about 15 kilometers. It passed, so it passed in a mostly, Black River side, and go across the island. When after the hurricane, I tried to move through the community, and it was totally impossible. Light poles were rooted up, and I know the ones them see the videos them of what really happened, but when I take a closer look, and because we are so connected and involved within the community set speed, and I check out and I see a lot of relief packages going out, other ones, both are different ones, from Kingston and all over, moving through, and I think those are great works, and we give thanks even to some of the artists them who come to assist the people, and You could have said, morality within the people of Jamaica. But there was something missing within I and I look at the whole situation, and it was how the Rastafari ones, was being served. When they go around and say, Rastafari ones needed food, needed, beddings, needed different things where, wasn't available, especially, the dietary needs. It wasn't available, and the devastation, everything was lost. It's like roof when you go places like past Black River and go, on the coast like you go towards Westmoreland, all of them devastated, every roof gone. You see mothers and babies, pregnant mothers, man, woman, everyone standing on the roadside in a line, waiting for something, you know what I mean? And this is on the coast, but when you think about the inland, it was impossible to reach the ones them inland, So, and I did have to make some move towards, serving in that regard, in that capacity as a one way would gather some things that we know so the community the ones them would need and finding the ones them. So you have, it was like a scattered work. It wasn't not where the RMO did really plan for, but ones who involved with the RMO set speed, everyone just go out and do them thing I do. Them giving and searching for the elders, them searching for the different ones. And we were successful, in that regard. But coming together with reason and the RMO now plan, to go out there, in a unified sense. And I was still on that program, and we go out there and we go places in Montego Bay, we go places in Westmoreland, we go places in Black River, and these different places and finding the ones them and giving the care package. And even till now, and it is now about 3 months after the hurricane, and the ones them maybe although food becomes something that they can survive right now, but one still out there without shelter, one still out there displaced, in such a way that youth can't go to school, that is medicine. These things are really happening for true. So I experience something I've never experienced before, and I know that one on the international scene might see disasters happening in different land, but I wasn't prepared for this, which is scary when you see the things where happen to the ones them you see, after the hurricane, rodents start moving around because they're displaced though, and want food to eat, and anything you have is fear them if you don't put it up carefully. People out of electricity, people out of water, these things are still, in limbo. You don't have these things still. A lot of ones out there. Because even the other day we go find some Rastafari ones, living on the tree. These things are scary to look at and to think about. So I just, would I want to create this initiative based on a solidarity. I doing this work and the work is accepted within the community because the ones them, see I coming through and I have to do, as Rasquaz had mentioned before, the mapping. So alongside what I is doing as far as care packages is concerned, we try our best now to do the mapping. So we have this mapping document which we had from before, and RMO has, design a mapping document just to find out where members of the community are, where their position, what they're doing, what skills they have, who is in a position where them should I get pension and not get pension, the youths them, who's supposed to go to school and I get best care as far as that is concerned is not happening. So RMO set out an initiative from the beginning to do this. And this hurricane now give us the opportunity to even go faster and harder to do this, because if there becomes another disaster, a flood, another hurricane, drought, we need to find the people, we need to know where they are. That's, the help can come towards them, quicker. And not taking so long that one get degraded, one lose courage, lose confidence in themselves, because life has come to a point where even if you use a bathroom, it's difficult, you know what I mean? Because most of these things are destroyed. So, and I have to rise up in this time, and I appeal now to even this international Rastafari community set speed just to stand up within solidarity. It's not a big thing, because Rastafari, never usually depend on that, and we are weary of that cause. But this is not begging, this is solidarity. This is how, the international Rastafari community. And I know that and I benefit from the Rastafari, existence. One's out there, doing the music, one's out there, living the life, living the liberty. Just the love of Rastafari. We can walk in any war zone and I want to see the Rastafari. Say we're not in that. It's love straight we are dealing with. So that divine a space within this world to live. And to live comfortable that, I want can't say Rastafari no derogative things or no war or no killing or no these type of things. Rastafari in a love, togetherness. And this especially what has happened, with Hurricane, give the courage to unite, amongst I self, especially I who are able to assist in any kind of way. This is the Rastafari community, the real part, not just to hear about Rastafari. We are dealing with the ones that was fought for the cause, the ones that will fight for ganja, make ganja could have stand up in a Jamaica to be a part of Jamaica, culture within itself. I stand up, with I liberty, that even things like tourism could have been enhanced because of I just depend on a reason just now and I hear I bridging talk about the reggae sun splash, which brought tourists to Jamaica in June. Tourists never used to come to Jamaica before. And these things were the celebration of Rastafari, brought these things to Jamaica and ones are benefiting from these things. So I call upon the international community, both Rastafari supporters of Rastafari, to stand up in solidarity for the community. RMO now has come together, and I should highlight Raspazi, some of the works where RMO been doing, and it's not a new work, doing this work is just a continuation of the works that I have been doing. RMO structure is set up in a way where I have a administrative department. We have executive department where I monitor, things that happen within the committees of I operation. The committees consist of, we have the Ganja committee, which is the still raga. We have events committee, that deals with event, within I space set speed. We talk about the Ras Biah, we talk about the life that RMO has been doing over time. We have, the different committees, about 5 committees, RMO has that does the work within the community. So this wouldn't be strange. A work like this is just fall in place of I just getting I community together, finding the ones, mapping them, and it's not just individual mapping, it's family, it's household mapping. And as you say, Raspazi give thanks to the Rastafari Benevolent Society, for initiating this work of mapping. God, the ones that have been out there, they've been to different places just to find deep within Jamaica, in the hills of Trelawny, in the hills of Westmoreland, these places to find our brothers and sisters, just to assist them, especially through this time, and just to share, especially the confidence within, just for the ones that rise up. So yeah, is a dangerous experience, and I go through seeing the ones them, and I go put it down to suffering. Because I know if we live, we know if we live even if we don't have nothing at all, but there is things existing in this world that I can achieve. So with solidarity, we don't want the ones them to know say, yeah, just look towards the kindness of the item art and stand up for what the item have been, shouting out to the works of the Rastafari community, defending what the creed is: the hungry be fed, the naked clothed, the sick nourished, aged protected, and infants cared for. That is what we are all about, and this is what solidarity is. So, and I just, naming out that the ones them can look deeper within themselves to stand up that I can continue the works of defending the community, rising the community to a level that, ones can be satisfied within life, and stand up within their liberty, set speed. So give thanks. I wouldn't, go no further. Ras was it, I mean, I passed over to the set speed. I give thanks.
No, give thanks for that clarity and the passion. As I said, the brethren has been going out in the field, um, dealing with the thing I see. Benny Berg is saying, just keep it transparent and show receipts and include poor people in the decision-making process. What would you say to this comment, Ras Biah? Keep it transparent, show receipts, and include poor people in the decision-making process. How would you respond? Yeah,
Give
man,
thanks
no.
and give thanks to patience, I mean, I don't get from black as much, but you give thanks, for the fullness of the program itself. I just want to shout giving thanks to I team, RMO team, who has been working assiduously, especially now towards the disaster, and how I can just restore I community set speed. We give thanks to the team of RMO working hard. Give thanks to the adjoining team, the international community, the dark, and all the ones them who come forward within the support of the family. Give thanks to the media team, who pledge, for reach out to the world, to I set speed. Yeah, I mean, we do give thanks to the ones them and, be encouraged, or full courage to do this work, that I can achieve something great. As I say, Rastafari is working. The king has left a work to do. And it is so great that the king split himself in many different parts that I can represent in each part of the liberty of I. So we do give thanks, and Raskwazi, give thanks to the set speed, for all of the work that they have been doing. They sit up and I get the work done. Sometimes, even when little weariness go on amongst the group, they just did it for strength, the powers, and make the thing continue set speed. So we do give thanks to the set. I wish they the best going forward, within this time. I just want to say also joining on the set speed, and then I have the support, to get the community rallied around, and I can show the solidarity of an international community that the support is there. Yeah, I mean, once there are some care packages going out, and if I don't push out in a certain way, they're gonna get what satisfies them. Other care packages are just Rasquazi, a whole of different meat and all type of things going out, and products that don't satisfy the Rastafari. So I need to rise up, and this is what I is doing, and so far so good. Accountability, everything we look into very deeply that we can do the best that I can do. Not saying that there wouldn't be any type of mistake. We don't pray any mistake to make, but we hope that everything runs smooth as far as gathering I people in a certain way where there should be another disaster. We know how to find the ones them quickly, or I can just continue the support of I family going through. I putting forward this program to not to always reaching out for this type of support, but to create a sustainability within the nucleus of I existence within Jamaica set speed. going, into the different organizations, the houses, and rising, the levity, the livelihood, the economic sustainability, the structures. I mean, rising these things because the love is there and the love is always there. I mean, the ones them, have the support amongst each other, said speed. But, we really and truly need that international support, and, RMO is an avenue that them can, keep abreast of what RMO is doing. It's almost public amongst I and I, not public amongst the government, but public amongst the Rastafari family. And there is so many organizations which is joining the solidarity call that, through each of these organizations, there's an overstanding of how I and I, is doing the work and how the work is being done, in different parts. So I and I is doing, and the item will see and can advise also of any type of, ways where I and I can make it better. So we do give thanks, and we keep on doing the work. So give thanks to the ones them, and keep on the support up and running. Yes, I give thanks.
Give thanks for the eye, Ras Biah. We didn't get to go as in depth on the Webathon as I wanted to go with the eye, but I think everybody overstand. We're 30 minutes over our timing, so we want to be respectful of everyone's time. I want to just seal up with some words out from the wise of Emperor Haile Selassie the First, courtesy of Frontline Books. Our elder Raseku Tafari distribute them. We'll be bringing him forward for January, so stay tuned. This chapter on development, I want to just block. And his mind said, "Glory to word, sound, and power." He said, let us not be too proud to face honestly and frankly the fact that by the standards of modern world, African peoples today are poor. Our poverty need not cover us with shame. We must not be too proud to recognize the fact of Africa's economic situation as it exists today. We must not be cast down or discouraged by the magnitude of the problems we face. But Africa is potentially rich. Our task is to improve the economic lot of all African peoples, to raise them to a standard of living comparable to that enjoyed by most highly developed regions of the world today. This is a task and a challenge which must be met. Improving the economic lot of all Africans touches all of us. All must live for success in this endeavor. The ultimate resource of a nation is its people. Unless the resource is employed for the benefit of the nation, unless the latent good which it represents is exploited to the maximum extent for the common good, the nation will languish, poor in spirit, lacking in achievement. So this is the word sound of His Majesty. Give us the teaching of His Majesty. We can't go wrong with it. Ras Biah, you hear that? What is your sound, final sound, based on what you heard from His Majesty, and just give us your expectation for the Webathon and what I would like to see moving forward.
I and I have to stay steadfast, based on the words of His Majesty said speed. And as the king would have said, based on the standards of the world, I and I would be poor, but I and I within I and I self is rich. We are rich with love, we are rich with, togetherness, we are rich with morality. So we have to stay rich, within ourselves, scattered in this Western world. Yeah, so we would have like the ones them to really and truly, look into brotherhood, and togetherness, how we can have these tools to work with each other, not finding the audacity to blame each other for past things, but looking forward to the future that we can correct ourselves in the movement of developing the community of the Rastafari once. Because there are, younger generation coming forward, which I and I need to, pass on the baton that they can, come forward with a greater understanding of what's happening in this world. As Ras Biah said, we need doctors, we need scientists, we need, farmers, we need financiers, we need all these ones, to rise up amongst I and I, that I and I can even look forward within how repatriation would be possible. If I and I leave, especially, Jamaica, and not having certain skills to rise up, amongst a nation like Africa right now, which is looking in a direction of leadership within the world, I and I would have, got left out of the picture. But yes, with this initiative, I and I putting forward a way, where I and I can be a part of the leadership of Africa and the rising of the Rastafari community. Yes, I do give thanks, and I expect the Webathon to be successful for I and I. And we have to remember, the Webathon is not just for one day. It is for a continuous process. So what happens on the 1st of February continues on, and I is a part of moving forward. Yeah, and it is hoped to be one of the greatest. It is an historic event, where this has never been done before. So we're approaching some territories which has never been approached before. But with support and solidarity as we to make a difference in the outlook of I and I brothers and sisters, especially in Jamaica, who has been through this disaster. Yes, I and I need the solidarity support. So what we do give thanks, join on to the Webathon, keep posted and keep abreast of what I and I is doing. Give thanks. Blessed love the King.
Give thanks. Mightyful sound. Dear you up family, we are going to I'm glad that the brethren emphasized that point, that the Webathon is just the beginning. This is the launch of the Triple R plan, the Webathon. So the plan, the overall goal is 500,000 US. Again, that's for the first phase of the plan. We're gonna have to reassess once budgets for each center are done by the experts. Also big up St. Michael's College, who has given a 5-year commitment to help in terms of sourcing some of the professionals. They've already linked us with ones who are doing eco designs, different students. And we'll be getting other academic institutions involved as well. So there's so much happening, and there's so much potential in this moment. Out of the disaster comes the opportunity for change. There comes the opportunity to step up the thing to a level now. Again, the priority for RMO, I can tell as one of the chairs of one of the RMO subcommittees, the Ital Standard Certification Committee, is Rastafari food sovereignty. The Ital standard is being developed by the RMO under the leadership of the RMO. This was prior to Hurricane Melissa, but now all of the farms impacted with this plan, one of the things is going to be building in that Ital food production into all of these centers. So I can make the item know that is a top priority. We are likely headed toward global food shortages with the way these brethren and sistren in high places are playing with war right now internationally. So food security is paramount. So I just want to emphasize that if you're wondering where RMO head there, what am I gonna do with all of this resource, know that the vision, and big up Dr. Knife, big up Dr. Michelle Emanuela up at UE, who have been helping to guide the process. The vision is agribusiness, you know what I mean? Leonard Howell forward to the land and creating value-added products from the Ital standard. Ras Biah Raga family has been instrumental in, in the field, grassroots. Benny Berg, you talk about grassroots. Ras Biah, one of them man that were really out there with the grassroots. So this is why we have the platform. Ras Biah is not a man with whole heap of interviews. So the fact that him come on Lion Voice will show you what we are dealing with right now is to highlight these ones so that more can be inspired to don't just sit down and critique. We need warriors right now. We need we workforce right now. Planning some work days to help ones go clear their land, plant their land. All of that is in the vision of the Triple R plan. So this is the first episode that we're doing on the Webathon and the Triple R plan, but we're gonna have a lot of content, reasoning, interviews around the Triple R plan, bringing people to reason about it. So you'll get to hear a lot more about the Triple R plan and the whole vision, along with the other Rastafari media. So I do give thanks. Give thanks for Ras Biah, and just know that the Lion Voice will not stop doing this work. I was called to this work by Kadamari Haile Selassie I. Let me just do something very quick before we seal here, Ras Biah. Just be patient with I.
Open your eyes and wake up now, my people. See what Hurricane Melissa did to my people.
My people, RMO, Rastafari Mansions and Organizations in association with DARK, EWF, CRO, RCC, IDOR, TRAN, Global Run present a fundraising webinar called Relief, Rebuild and Rise, the Rastafari community in response to Hurricane Melissa devastation of Jamaica. Sunday, February 26, time 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. UK time. This is not to be missed. Featuring Prince Ermiah Sehel Selassie, Dr. Julius Garvey, Sister Carol, Julian Marley, Rocky Dohoney, Empress Sativa, Gramps Morgan, Kabaka Pyramid, Yami Bolo, Muta Baruka, Janine, Spraga Benz, Riza Islam, Priest Kailash, Dr. Bobby Holistic. This is in aid of rebuilding Rastafari relief, recovery and resilience. As His Majesty say, we must become something we have never been. Greater in spirit, larger in outlook. Most High, Selassie Jah, Rastafari. See you there.
Yes. So the item can see history. That was Ija Star. Go check out his platform. That was his commercial. This is part of the Unity. Feel a joy if you play one of my colleagues in the Rastafari media. He put that together, edited it, all of them there. So it's a unity that's going on, you know what I mean? Feel a joy, say we could have played. We're gonna have a lot more commercials and things. The different media are being put together. So starting from next strong, it's gonna be non-stop. So stay tuned. And we'll be here to bring you all of it. Why? Because the time has come for the Lions to tell our own story. And this is the Lion's Voice.
Lion Voice. Yeah. Rastafari. Emperor Haile Selassie the first. Tell the people about embarrassment. Well, even if the stars they fall and the moon turn into blood, I that brother stand my ground. Lion of Judah blessed with the triple crown. Can't come fool I with no circus clown. Now fear no hurricane or the cyclone. Respect for Mama Earth with that embedded on me bone. That's why I will never leave you alone. Protect you from harm when the alarm sound. So even when the stars they fall and the moon turn into blood, through the coming war we stand tall. I will shower you with my love. And even when the people start mal, when they see their city streets them flood, when the hurricane blow down our wall, I'll be by your side and me not budge. Think I found the love of a lifetime. I love you every day or the night time. The Almighty, I made your light shine, and unto I, your light was a lifeline. I think I found the love of a lifetime. I love you every day or the night time. The Almighty, I made your light shine, and unto I, your love was a lifeline. They say hurt people, maybe that's why Babylon them so evil. Maybe Babylon abused as a child. That's why them no like the light when you smile. That's why them no like how your body curve. The way how you dance keep on Babylon nerve. Them no know how the Almighty you serve. Want to be a queen, so a king you deserve. And I'll be by your side when things get worse. When the city flood cause the dam just burst. When you can depend on no state or church. Firm like a man in an highly Selassie firm.